Replacing a wheel bearing hub assembly might sound tricky, but with the right tools and a little patience, you can do it yourself. Here is a general step-by-step guide to help you replace a wheel bearing hub assembly. First, remove the center cap of the wheel using a screwdriver. Then, use a breaker bar to loosen all axle nuts and bolts. Do not remove them completely yet. Once the vehicle is safely lifted and supported, remove the lug nuts and take off the tire. When the tire is removed, locate and remove the 2 bolts on the back of the brake caliper. Use a screwdriver to gently pry the caliper away from the brake pads. Secure the caliper with a mechanic's wire to avoid placing strain on the brake line. Next, remove the brake pads from the caliper bracket. Then, remove the 2 bolts on the back of the spindle, loosen them first, then fully remove them. Finally, remove the caliper bracket from the spindle. To remove the brake rotor, tap between the wheel studs to loosen any rust and free the rotor from the hub. After that, remove the axle nut completely by hand. Insert a punch into the axle center hole and tap gently to free it from the splines. Next, take PB Blaster penetrating oil. This oil helps loosen stuck parts and prevents future rust on vehicles, tools, and equipment. Spray the backside of the bolts with this penetrating oil to help loosen them. Then, use a chisel to gently wedge between the hub and the spindle to begin separating them. Locate the bolt securing the sensor to the hub and remove it. Carefully remove the sensor using pliers. Twist it back and forth gently to avoid damage. Once the sensor is removed, take the hub off completely. Now, install the new hub onto the axle. Reinstall the sensor into the new hub and tighten its securing bolt. Then, tighten all the bolts on the backside of the hub securely. Reinstall the axle nut or axle bolt and torque it to the manufacturer's specifications. After securing the hub, place the rotor back onto the hub and secure it with lug nuts temporarily. Then, reinstall the caliper bracket by aligning it with the spindle and tightening its bolts. Next, insert brake pads into the bracket and lightly grease their contact points. Release the caliper piston. Then carefully compress the piston using groove lock pliers until it is fully retracted. Once the piston is compressed, slide the caliper back over the brake pads. Push in the guide pins and tighten the caliper bolts securely. Finally, reinstall the wheel, hand tighten lug nuts, lower the vehicle, then fully tighten in a star pattern. Reinstall the center cap on the wheel. Once everything is done, take your car for a short drive and listen for any strange noises. If it drives smoothly, you have done a great job. By using this method, you will replace the hub assembly and restore your vehicle's smooth performance.